Next week on Days of Our Lives.
Order!
Welcome back to the day. Today, we dive deep into the explosive confrontation between Sami Brady and Paulina Price, two fierce matriarchs forced onto opposite sides of the courtroom during Johnny DiMera's shocking criminal trial. Emotions erupt, loyalties are tested, and alliances are pushed to their breaking points in this gripping storyline that has all of Salem talking. Fire sparks fly as Sami explodes over Paulina's testimony as the gavel slams and Johnny DiMera's trial begins to unfold in Salem's tense courtroom. A surprising name is called to the witness stand, Paulina Price. Her presence alone sends a shockwave through the gallery, but the real tremor doesn't hit until her testimony begins to dig into Johnny's dark past. What nobody expects, however, is the raw, uncontrolled rage of Sami Brady, Johnny's protective and notoriously hot-headed mother. The moment Paulina utters Johnny's name in connection to vengeful comments and troubling behaviors, Sami stands up, trembling with fury. Her eyes lock on Paulina like a laser beam. What was supposed to be a legal procedure quickly turns into a personal battleground. Outside the courtroom, the confrontation everyone feared and secretly wanted erupts. Collision mother versus mother-in-law. The showdown outside the courthouse as Paulina steps off the witness stand, visibly shaken by the weight of her testimony. She barely makes it into the hallway before she finds herself face-to-face with an infuriated Sami Brady. The air crackles with tension. Sami doesn't waste a second. "How dare you throw my son under the bus in front of that jury? You're supposed to be family, Paulina!" she snaps, her voice loud enough to echo through the courthouse walls. Paulina, ever composed but clearly rattled, holds her ground. "Sami, I didn't lie. I only told the court what I knew to be true at the time. Johnny had some serious anger, and I can't pretend I didn't see that." The heated exchange quickly draws a crowd. Chanel, Abe, Belle, and even Rafe arrive just in time to witness the mother-in-law standoff that now threatens to pull the entire DiMera and Price Carver families into open conflict. Sami is relentless. "You betrayed Johnny. You betrayed me. You stood up there and made him look like a criminal, like someone who could actually hurt his own father." Firecracker Paulina's emotional conflict, caught between justice and family. Paulina isn't without remorse. She never wanted to be placed in this impossible position. Before testifying, she spent sleepless nights wrestling with the fear that her words might help convict her daughter's husband. Ab Carver tried to comfort her, insisting that honesty wouldn't destroy the family. "You didn't cause this mess, Paulina," Abe had told her. "You're just telling the truth. Johnny and Chanel will understand that someday." But Sami doesn't see it that way. For her, Paulina's testimony isn't just inconvenient, it's treacherous. And what Sami fears most isn't just the courtroom fallout. It's the emotional toll it could take on Johnny. Balance scale inside the courtroom. A damaging testimony during her time on the stand. Paulina didn't accuse Johnny of violence, but she did confirm his rage. She spoke about moments after EJ's mysterious injury, when Johnny seemed consumed by revenge and spoke in a fury about how EJ deserved what happened to him. While Johnny has long since moved on from that vengeful mindset, Paulina's honest recollections painted a damning picture, one the jury may not forget. Her tone was hesitant. Her words were carefully chosen, but the damage was done. Prosecutors seized on her testimony like vultures. Johnny's defense team visibly cringed. And in the back of the courtroom, Sami clenched her fists and silently vowed that Paulina would answer for this betrayal. Pistol Johnny's breaking point. The DiMera Mansion incident. What the public doesn't yet know is how dangerously close Johnny came to taking matters into his own hands. In a flashback that sends chills down viewers' spines, we see Johnny storming into the DiMera Mansion late one stormy night, a weapon hidden beneath his coat. His eyes are wild, his mind clouded by betrayal and rage. EJ had failed him. The family had failed him. And he wanted justice, his own version of it. But just as he entered the darkened living room, ready to confront EJ, He froze. Something in EJ's weary eyes, something human and heartbreakingly real, stopped him cold. He dropped the weapon. He walked away. Now, that impulsive moment threatens to resurface in court. Rumors swirl that the prosecution may introduce the incident as circumstantial evidence of Johnny's emotional instability. And if they do, Paulina's testimony will only add fuel to the fire. Brain EJ and Johnny. Scheming in the shadows behind closed doors, EJ DiMera isn't playing defense. He's strategizing. Though he's trying to repair his fractured relationship with Johnny, EJ knows that courtrooms are battlefields, and victory doesn't come without sacrifice. In a rare moment of brutal honesty, he confesses to Johnny, "To win this, we need to play dirty. I hate it, but everything I do, every ruthless tactic I employ, is for you." Johnny hesitates. He doesn't want to become what he once hated. But if his own family and in-laws are testifying against him, does he have a choice? Cyclone Chanel, torn between two worlds, stuck in the eye of this emotional hurricane, is Chanel Dupree DiMera. As Johnny's wife and Paulina's daughter, Chanel is watching her world tear itself apart. She wants to believe her husband is innocent. She wants to trust her mother meant no harm. But how do you stay neutral when your marriage is on trial? In one heartbreaking scene, Chanel confronts her mother, tears in her eyes. "Did you have to say all of that? Couldn't you have protected him, even just a little?" Paulina, her voice cracking, replies, "If I protected him with lies, I'd be betraying you too." Crystal ball, what's next? Secrets, schemes, and shattered trust. With tension reaching a boiling point, viewers are left wondering, what other secrets are waiting to be exposed? Will Sammy go public with accusations against Paulina? Will Chanel choose sides? Could Johnny's dark night at the DiMera mansion come back to destroy him in court? One thing is certain. This trial is not just about Johnny's guilt or innocence. It's about truth, loyalty, and the terrifying lengths a family will go to protect or destroy one of its own. Clapperboard final thoughts. Stay tuned, because this courtroom drama is just getting started. The tension between Sammy and Paulina has ignited a chain reaction that threatens to unravel the entire DiMera family and beyond. As Salem watches from the sidelines, the real battle isn't happening in front of the judge. It's happening in the hearts of the people who love Johnny most. Don't miss a moment of the firestorm, only on Days of Our Lives. Next, Tuesday, August 5th, 2025. As tensions reached a boiling point between various residents and surprising alliances began to form. The elevator aftermath creates new tensions. The episode opened with Chad DiMera finding himself in a peculiar position as he witnessed Julie Williams finally regaining her composure and recognizing their current predicament, being trapped together in the hospital elevator. Julie's initial relief at understanding their situation quickly transformed into visible irritation as she realized she was still confined in this cramped space alongside Kat Green, the woman who had caused so much turmoil in their lives. Her frustration was palpable as she muttered about the entire situation being completely bizarre and unsettling. The atmosphere grew increasingly uncomfortable as Julie's disapproval of Kat's presence became more pronounced. Marlena Evans, ever the voice of reason and compassion, recognized the growing tension and made a deliberate effort to intervene. She carefully pulled Julie aside, speaking to her in hushed but firm tones about the importance of restraining her critical comments toward Kat. This moment highlighted Marlena's ongoing role as a mediator in Salem's complex web of relationships, always striving to maintain peace even when emotions run high. Chad found himself in the awkward position of having to apologize for Julie's behavior, a gesture that spoke volumes about his growing protectiveness toward Kat. The mystery of Felicity's sudden disappearance was quickly resolved as Chad explained that she had simply left the scene, perhaps unable to handle the mounting tension that seemed to permeate every interaction between these key players. Kat, clearly uncomfortable with the scrutiny and criticism, posed a direct question to Chad about what he had been attempting to say during their elevator ordeal, but Chad deflected with characteristic nonchalance, claiming it was nothing of particular importance. Julie's relentless opposition reaches a breaking point. The situation escalated dramatically as Julie's persistent negativity toward Kat became impossible to ignore. Kat attempted to distance herself from the brewing conflict by focusing intently on her phone, desperately trying to appear occupied while Chad positioned himself strategically between the two women. Julie's piercing stares at Kat were impossible to miss, creating an atmosphere so thick with tension that it became suffocating for everyone present. Marlena continued her attempts at peacekeeping, engaging in quiet conversation while observing the dynamics unfolding before her. The pressure finally became too much for Chad to bear, and he reached his limit with Julie's behavior. In a moment of unprecedented assertiveness, he directly confronted the older woman about her treatment of Kat. His words were measured but firm as he explained that he had no intention of changing her opinion about Kat, just as she would be unable to alter his growing feelings for the mysterious woman. Chad's declaration that he was a fully grown adult capable of making his own decisions marked a significant moment in their relationship, establishing new boundaries that Julie would need to respect going forward. Julie's reaction to Chad's confrontation was both surprising and touching. Rather than becoming defensive or argumentative, she broke down emotionally, her tears revealing the depth of her concern and love for Chad. Through her emotional response, she expressed how incredibly important Chad was to her life and how much joy she derived from spending time with his children. Her mention of their frequent visits to Foster's bookstore painted a picture of the meaningful relationships she had built with his family, making her protective instincts more understandable even if her methods were misguided. An unexpected business proposition emerged as the conversation took an entirely unexpected turn when Julie, perhaps seeking to redirect the tension into something more constructive, suggested that Chad might be interested in purchasing books from their favorite local establishment. Her casual inquiry about whether Chad wanted to buy books for the children led to a much larger revelation about the precarious state of the beloved bookstore. Chad's response revealed troubling information about the declining book market, a reality that clearly troubled Julie deeply as someone who valued literature and reading. Julie's passionate response to this news demonstrated her deep commitment to preserving the joy of reading for future generations. Her eloquent speech about the critical importance of nurturing children's love for books and ensuring that physical reading materials continue to exist in an increasingly digital world revealed her as someone with genuine convictions about cultural preservation. The fervor with which she spoke about this issue showed that her concerns extended far beyond her immediate family to encompass broader societal values. Chad's suggestion that Julie herself should consider purchasing the bookstore was delivered with characteristic directness. This unexpected proposal caught Julie completely off guard, as evidenced by her immediate list of reasons why such a venture would be impossible or impractical for her. However, Chad's logical counterargument that she had frequently complained about boredom in her life provided a compelling reason to seriously consider this opportunity. Hospital encounters and growing connections. The hospital setting provided the backdrop for multiple meaningful interactions throughout the day. Chad's time with Julie in this environment allowed for deeper conversations than might have been possible elsewhere. The clinical atmosphere seemed to strip away some of the pretenses and social formalities that often govern their interactions, allowing for more honest exchanges about their concerns, hopes, and fears. Julie's internal struggle with the bookstore proposition was evident as she continued to raise objections and concerns about taking on such a significant business venture. Her hesitation reflected not just practical considerations about the financial and time commitments involved, but also deeper questions about her capabilities and readiness to embark on such an ambitious project at this stage in her life. Chad's patient encouragement for her to simply think about the possibility rather than making an immediate decision showed his understanding of the magnitude of what he was suggesting. Underlying tensions and unresolved issues throughout these interactions. The underlying tension regarding Kat's presence in Chad's life continued to simmer beneath the surface. Julie's protective instincts toward Chad were clearly rooted in genuine love and concern, but her methods of expressing these feelings created additional stress for everyone involved. The complexity of the situation was compounded by the history between Kat and Chad, including the traumatic circumstances under which they first met when Kat was impersonating Chad's deceased wife. The episode effectively highlighted how past traumas and deceptions continue to influence present relationships in Salem. Julie's inability to move past Kat's original deception, while understandable, created obstacles for potential healing and new connections. Chad's growing frustration with this situation demonstrated his own evolution as a character, showing increased confidence in asserting his autonomy while still maintaining respect for the important people in his life. Looking forward, new possibilities and challenges as the episode concluded, several new storylines and possibilities had been established. The potential bookstore purchase represented not just a business opportunity for Julie, but a chance for her to find new purpose and engagement in her community. The ongoing tension between Julie and Kat suggested that resolution would require significant effort from all parties involved, with Chad likely playing a crucial mediating role. The interactions revealed in this episode demonstrated the complex web of relationships that make Salem such a compelling setting for ongoing drama. Each character's motivations were clearly established, from Julie's protective instincts to Chad's desire for independence to Kat's need for acceptance and belonging. These competing desires and concerns set the stage for continued conflict and resolution as the storylines continue to develop. The hospital setting served as more than just a backdrop, functioning as a place where characters could have meaningful conversations away from the usual social pressures and expectations of their daily lives. This environment allowed for the kind of honest communication that might not have been possible elsewhere, leading to both confrontations and potential resolutions that will undoubtedly influence future episodes. The bookstore storyline introduced an intriguing business element that could provide Julie with new challenges and opportunities, while also serving as a gathering place for other Salem residents. This development has the potential to create new storylines and interactions while addressing real-world concerns about the preservation of reading culture and small businesses in changing times.